All right, I think we are live, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the next section here as we go along this Pinterest Predicts journey. You'll now be hearing from myself and Alessio all about creators. So first, before we get into the details of the team, we wanted to introduce ourselves. I am Tracy Johnson. I use she, her pronouns, and I am part of the creator management team. I've been at Pinterest for almost exactly 1 year, and I actually started out on the sales team, so have had an interesting trajectory into the creator world. But as mentioned, the creator management team is new to Pinterest, and so we are constantly building our team and really excited to have all of you on the line to learn more about what we do. Before Pinterest, I was at a publisher called Tastemade and focused on branded content, specifically with food creators, chefs, stylists, influencers. And so I'm really parlaying that experience into my partnership work on the creator management team. I'm very focused on connecting creators with brands and brands with creators, and then helping make Pinterest a great place for creators to come and make money. So with that, I'll pass it over to Alessio.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello, everyone. I'm Alessio Pavan. My pronouns are he, his. I live in Los Angeles, and I lead the health and wellness vertical here at Pinterest. My perfect American accent might fool you into thinking that I've always been the US team, but believe it or not, my career at Pinterest started on the international team, where I was optimizing the product for the Italian market and developing partnership with brands and creators in the region. Within our organization, we are about 140 people across international, product management, product marketing, and creator management team. Among many things, all these teams are working to make creation easier, more accessible, and more engaging globally, and working hard to keep creation top of mind and to celebrate creators. And here is where we fall in the creator management team, which is comprised of 35 members globally as today. But what do? We are the content compass for Pinterest. We empower creators to make inspiring, inclusive content that sparks the delight of discovery for pinners globally. But what does that mean? The core to this mission is to celebrate, inspire, and supporting the creators who will redefine the platform one idea at a time. We, as creator manager, have an opportunity to shape a more diverse and inclusive space for culturally relevant content than people expect. The inspiring ideas Pinterest is known for will sit alongside the inspiring test maker, fashionistas, wellness experts, designers, brand builders, and founders of our growing creator network. As a team, we are doing our part to build the Pinterest of the future, with an ecosystem of richer, fresher, more engaging types of content from a new generation of creators. We believe that Pinterest can be the home of the most inspiring content and the most inspiring people. We believe that creators stand at the center of expertise and influence, which allow them to be a trusted voice that will inspire pinners into action. After all, without creators, there would be no Pinterest. For this reason, we are building a new founding creative class, which wants to make their living by inspiring and teaching, not just entertaining at scale. Pinterest is from pinners that it offers something unique, a positive space to save ideas and take actions versus a place to solely browse entertainment. And curiosity is the currency that joins pinners to creators. Pinners come with the questions, and creators offer answers and ideas. Creators have actionable substance to their ideas that to share and aren't afraid to make a bold statement. We want to surface these ideas and empower people to bring them to life. And in order to do this, we help creators to build an audience directly on Pinterest. To build an audience, creators use their expertise and creative skills along with high quality content and show compelling ideas that will make pinners want to follow them. Following, in particular, is the foundation of how pinners can connect with creators. For pinners, following means getting more fresh, original ideas from creators, and for creators, following means building an engaged audience on Pinterest, united by the inspiration they provide. But what makes followers different on Pinterest is the intent. Pinners come specifically to look for new ideas, products, and services to make it part of their life. So content on Pinterest is not a distraction, it's critical to the ecosystem. Creators make ideas so people can find them online and then try them offline in the real world. But how are we empowering creators, you ask? What do we do specifically? We build an environment where talents are excited to make content and give them the opportunity to strive. For instance, we provide scale education, teaching how creators can best use Pinterest to share ideas while maintaining their natural voice, which help them to build an engaged audience. We also build programs to get creators excited about Pinterest and use our products. Last year, we onboarded hundreds of creators. We taught them how to make story pin and make them part of marketing campaigns, one of which was specifically tailored around creating content to support people navigating the new normal of the pandemic. We also host weekly meetup and office hours where creators can meet, learn about new trends, showcase the content they make, and ask for feedback and tips. And we also launched a private community board in partnership with Community and Creator Marketing. In our creator community, we connect creators and share what we are all learning on the journey of making our ideas happen. Thanks to this community, we are able to gather insights related to what creators want and discover rising stars and new talents. Personally speaking, one of the most rewarding aspects of my role is to be able to meet talented individuals every day, witnessing their passion, new content coming to life, and seeing them succeed put always a smile on my face. Having someone that you admire saying thank you, using Marie Kondo words, truly sparks joy. But what are our other things that we do? Last year, in partnership with Creator Marketing, we also launched our first Pinterest Creator Festival. Thousands of people tune in to hear how Elaine Welteroth, David Chang, and more creators are building an inspired audience on Pinterest. And one of our most recent events was Black Gold, an event to support the talented contribution of Black creators. The event spotlighted creatives and role models through a lineup of compelling conversation about Black excellence and owning your space in a digital world. One of the most crucial aspects of our team is to listen to creator needs and turn their needs into reality. To realize this vision, we are closely working across teams to support the development of new creator tools like story pins, immersive creator profiles, and analytic tools to track performances and meet creator needs. For example, many creators have asked for a feature that allows them to create multiple and downloadable story pins draft to be able to plan content in advance or to share that content with their team or brand partner for pre-approval. And thanks to their request, the feature is now part of the product. And to this note, I'll pass it back to Tracy to speak more about story pins and other great features.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so like Alessio said, one of his favorite parts of the role, one of my favorite parts of this job is being able to work cross-functionally, meaning we get to work with a lot of different teams. Product is the org that we sit on, but it's filled with so many different teams, and many of those teams are builders, they're engineers, they are developers, and they're building products such as this new one called Story Pins. So to dive in a little bit deeper on what a story pin is it's a multi-page format that really allows you to upload different kinds of content, whether it's video or static, and it really is meant to be the most creative canvas that we have to offer our creators. It's our native creation tool. And we are going to talk a little bit more about the other teams that we get to work with in publishing story pins, but also in the surfaces where they might live, such as the Today tab. So the Today tab, for those of you who don't know, is an editorial service that we have at Pinterest. This team is made up of different kinds of people who are curating content, whether it's a content curator who's pulling pins from different pinners and featuring them on the Today tab, or myself working with the creator managers like Alessio to get creators featured on this surface. And in the example you see here, we're actually showcasing a bunch of the trend work from Pinterest Predicts on the Today tab. So it's a really great place to go to find more inspiration, learn more about creators, and see story pins. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the creator journey. I'm going to introduce you to Dan. So this is Dan Pelosi. He also goes by Grossy Pelosi as his talent name. He is a home chef, self-taught, and is a big cook in his family. And he came to Pinterest just in 2020, just maybe September of 2020, where he had no Pinterest yet. He was publishing recipes, pins, and then we gave him access to story pins that really helped him take off on Pinterest. And now he is a very successful creator on the platform. He has over 7,000 followers and over 6 million monthly views on his content. So this just gives you an idea of just how easy it is for new creators to come to the platform. And the way that that works is a creator manager such as Alessio would work with some of our higher key creators like Dan, educate them on how to build out a Pinterest, how to create story pins, really thinking about what does best in class content look like on Pinterest. And then once they've been trained, they are able to really ignite their brand on Pinterest. We know that our creators are unique, and I want to talk a little bit about exactly what makes them so unique. So here are 3 different things. There's so many things that make a Pinterest creator unique, but 3 different things that Dan embodies: multi-hyphened, skilled, and accessible. So Dan is multi-hyphened in the way that, yes, he is a food creator, but he also is very interested in interiors, in skincare. He has like a nail polish line coming out, all kinds of things. So unlike other platforms, creators on Pinterest can really show a wide scope for everything that inspires them. They're not just confined to this one box of food or recipe. Sorry about that. And then also he's skilled. So he's not necessarily like a Michelin star chef. While we do have creators like that, he carries a skill of family recipe. So some of his hacks are passed down from his grandmother or grandfather, and he's sharing his skills with the Pinterest community through story pins. Finally, his work is accessible. So it's not that, it's a really hard recipe to make or it's a really hard gallery wall to create. He's showing things in a broken down way to really give you an idea of how to actually put this inspiration into action in your own life. So just really making sure that people who come to his page can actually do the things that he's doing. So now I want to bring it back to what we've been talking about today, which is Pinterest Predicts. So when we think about creators in Pinterest Predicts, there's 2 different ways that creators could fall into predictions of trends. One, creators can help us inform trends by starting to build content, and then they become part of that snowball effect where pinners are seeing their content and then they start searching for more content like that, and they're actually starting a trend. Or separately of that, our creators will see the trend report that we put out and they will react to it and make their own content. So here we have a couple of examples of how those 2 different avenues can come to life. The first one is Dan's story pin. So he made an antipasta platter over the holidays. So he actually published this before the report came out. And this was just another indicator that this epic charcuterie that we've been talking about was going to come to fruition into 2021. So he published this, it performed incredibly well. We saw great positive sentiment on the comments, and it's just another way to show how creators are leaning into trying new things and maybe igniting trends for us. Dominique Ansel, for anyone that's dialing in from New York, he is a top chef. He actually invented the cronut. So if you are in New York, definitely go try it. He has a bakery out there. But he is one of our top food creators as well. And he actually published a story pin focused on a fruit plate. Sorry, my cat is behind me playing with some toy. So welcome to work from home. He published a fruit plate and showcased exactly how to slice the fruit, played it really beautifully and really just embodied that idea of epic charcuterie doesn't have to be a meat and cheese plate. As Talia and Jenna mentioned, you know, there's other kinds we've seen like candy charcuterie plates or dessert charcuterie plates. This is more fruit focused, but just a different riff off of a trend. And then finally, on the other side of this, we had creators reacting to our trends. So this creator, Ain't Too Proud to Meg, she's actually known for her charcuterie. And in February, around Valentine's Day, she actually put out this chocolate box charcuterie. So taking what you have, this really cool heart-shaped box, and leveling it up with all different kinds of snacks, not just sweets. And so this was a good example of how a creator reacted to the report and saw like, okay, so we're seeing a variety of different charcuteries. Let's try this one out. And she made this story pin and it performed really well for us. So that gives you a good insight into the ways in which creators can help inform trends. And then we work directly with the other teams on this call to actually bring the trends and creators into each other's worlds. So we'll work with Carly and Bobby, who you'll hear from later today, on how we might be able to partner a brand with a creator and a trend. But yeah, that is all for me. I'm excited to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you. That was awesome. And you know, your team is very near and dear to my heart. So it was really exciting to see all of the things that you guys are working on with our phenomenal creators. I would love to kick off with a question that was specifically aimed at you, Tracy, but Alessio, I want to pull you in this too. So the question was, Tracy, how was the transition between going from your sales role to a creator role? And what skills did you have to bring to the table to make that a smooth transition? And then Alessio, for you, given that the creators team is so new at Pinterest, and creators in general, like this isn't an industry that's existed over the last 50 years, so I'm sure there are skills that you had to bring to the table as well to have a smooth transition into this new world that you're working in. So we'd just love to hear about that perspective from the both of you.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to start. So my trajectory at Pinterest was super unique. I was hired to be a creative strategist, which is what Carly is, who you'll hear from a little bit later. But I was hired to be a creative strategist on the food, bev, and grocery team, obviously, because I had the experience from a food publisher prior to this. And I started the week of lockdown, and there was an opportunity to get some chefs on the platform. We wanted to run a campaign called Chefs at Home, where Pinterest would be supporting local chefs who, there goes my cat again, who may be not having their restaurant open right now. So how could we help them? So we ran a campaign to support different causes that chefs were close to. And then we also onboarded chefs to Pinterest, paid them to make a story pin and talk about a recipe that people that are stuck at home could make, you know, from a chef. So I was tapped to work on that project, and it's actually something that is really great about Pinterest. There are tons of opportunities to work with other teams, to shadow other teams. This was an informal opportunity that then became a little bit more formal. So after the Chefs at Home program was over, there was an opportunity to do a rotation program with the creator management team. So I was essentially doing part-time with the sales team and then part-time with the creator management team. And then at the end of the 6-month rotation, I was able to interview for a full-time position within the creator management team. So long answer, but essentially Pinterest really empowers you to do and be whatever you want to at work. So if something interests you, it's highly encouraged that you go check it out, give it a try, raise your hand and volunteer to help. And we can always use extra help. So I think that's one really awesome thing about, you know, pivoting between different teams.
Yes, my journey was similar to Tracy in the sense that I joined the team to support for this campaign called Stay Inspired that I mentioned previously about helping people navigating the new normal of the pandemic. And previously, I was already working with creators in the Italian market, working with publishers, and try to optimize the product for them. So this mix of skill set, I believe, is very useful because in our role, you really need to enjoy building relationship and build strong relationship with creators, so you can build a trust that allows them to tell you, hey, I don't like this thing of the product, can you tell the team if I can fix it? And this is very crucial, because if they trust you and you trust them, you can go a long way. It's a learning process for both of us. And having a, I would say, technical background around the product helped me to convey and share this information to the right teams. So our role is very external, but at the same time internal as well. And what I was doing in my previous team in international for international markets was a great match for what I'm doing now. And after this campaign called Stay Inspired, I applied for a full-time role in the creator management team, and here we are.
I love that. So basically, raise your hand for a project and you will end up on a different team in about 6 months. That's
You never know.
exciting and thrilling. Yes, I love that. So there's a couple of interesting questions about creator management, but would love to start with the two-part question. Number one, do we know how many creators we're managing at this point? And then also, apart with that, can we talk a little bit more about how we find these creators and how we onboard them? And is there a different strategy when it comes to regions? So thinking about the US versus EMEA versus APAC. Would love to learn a little bit more about that.
Alessio, go for it.
Yes, I can start talking a little bit about how we operate globally. We have different teams across the world, and I was coming from the Southern European team. I was working with the Italian market, as I said. So each team contribute to find new trends and to discover new trends. And then we have some monthly meetings in which we learn from each other again and understand what are the current trends in Germany, or the current trends in Italy, in France, and so far, and collect all this feedback and tips and see if there are some trends that are similar across the market. And how do we find these creators? In multiple ways. You can become a creator yourself today, just requesting access to story pins. What I love about Pinterest is that it's very meritocratic in the sense that we really reward content. And if you're making great content, you go a long way on Pinterest. You don't need to be Brad Pitt, although if Brad Pitt join the platform tomorrow, I'm sure it's going to get a big following. But when we mention quality and being a high quality creator, we don't necessarily mean high quality of production. We mean quality of ideas, things that people can use, things that people find inspiring, practical, and actionable. So this is the key to become a creator. Everyone can become a creator.
Yeah, one of the things I love about Pinterest is people come on the platform not necessarily to want someone else's life or to say like, this is who Tracy is and I want to be Tracy, but more so Tracy has the skill of, let's say it's making cookies and I want to be really good at making cookies. So I'm going to visit this site and I want to learn from Tracy how to do that. Do you feel like our creators, are in a place where the following and the engagement with our users is high, or do you feel like that's a journey that we're still trekking through as a community right now?
Yeah, I think it's a journey. I think that people are still understanding that Pinterest has creators. We have a lot of marketing campaigns out about it. And I think that once people realize that our creators are teachers and they can help inspire you, like as you said, they'll come to the platform looking for more of that. And I think even just with the increase in published story pins, they'll start to see that native creation and start to develop better relationships with our creators. And then that snowballs into letting our creators build a community, have conversations in the comments, and build their following. So it's definitely a bit of a journey and it's new, but we're working every day with new creators and old Pinterest creators that we're building up again. So there's a lot of good stuff to come.
I love to hear that. And curious, how much does your team work with media publishers versus different teams, perhaps that's creator marketing or things of that nature? Can you explain that relationship with external publishing sources?
Yeah, so I just actually had a call with our creator manager partners in France about how they work with publishers, seeing how we could learn from them. So just kind of piggybacking off of Alessio's point of how we all work together to learn from each other across the whole world. But the way that we work with publishers right now is we really act as a partner to them in terms of what kind of content performs on Pinterest, what are the best practices for creating native content. And then we actually recently, I think it was today, Alessio launched a program with Women's Health. So we do have, which you can talk a little bit about, but we do have creator partnerships with publishers or just publisher partnerships with Pinterest. We also have opportunities to co-sell with publishers. So like Carly and Bobby's world, the sales side, we can sell a program with a publisher to a brand. So there's definitely some overlap across the teams. But I'd love for Alessio to talk a little bit about the Women's Health program because I think it's really great.
Yes, absolutely. Today we launched this partnership with Women's Health. If you go to the Today tab, you're going to see a board called Vision 21, which is filled with content that can help you to become the better version of yourself for the year, with inspiring ideas and with some visionaries. One of them is Aya Kanai, the head of our content partnership at Pinterest. And this board is filled with content that you can use to learn new things, to improve things that you always wanted to improve. And is a great way to collaborate with a publisher that wants to share some high quality content and high quality idea online, but also offline, because in their magazine, they also included their pin codes. And from the pin codes, they can, like users and readers can find the content that is now be featured on the board on the Today tab. So we have this partnership that is that goes between the real world and the online world. Something similar to it was a partnership I led in Italy with Elle Decor. Pre-COVID, we were able to have an entire room filled with pin codes, and for each pin code, there was an object, a design object assigned to a specific board, and the board was narrating the story of this object. And we had like, I think, 10 rooms, and each room was assigned to a decade. So Elle Decor, along with Pinterest, was able to navigate, to help the user navigate and visitors navigate the decades of design using Pinterest boards and using the real world exhibit.
Wow, I cannot wait until we're back in person doing things like that again. That sounds incredible. So final question for the both of you. Give us one creator, two if you can't think of just one, but one creator we should be following on Pinterest right now.
Alessio, go for it.
I've been working recently with this professor at Yale. Is called Mark Brackett, and I like him because he's a typical creator in the sense that he's a professor at Yale, and he shares weekly pills about feelings and how you can improve your well-being by managing your feelings. And it's simply Dr. Mark Brackett. You can find him on Pinterest. And I think it's exciting to see real experts that bring positivity and real knowledge on the platform. We are overall with information, and there is a lot of way to be misled. So having someone like him is very valuable.
My turn. Yes, well, I do love all creators. I'm pretty partial to food creators because I'm really interested in that category. So I like, celebrity chefs like Giada and Ming Tsai, but I've also started following Alexandra Z, who is a female woodworker, artist, creator, and she just has a really unique style. I'll actually drop her profile into the chat here. She started her career as a window designer for Anthropologie and then fell in love with woodworking, and now she's a full-time artist. And in the same regard, we have a couple that we work with called Joshua Treehouse. They just do some really cool, they have like a wonderful aesthetic and embody a lot of the Pinterest trends. So I think they're another great one to follow. And then Nicole Taylor in the food space. She is a wonderful food writer and she just makes really fun story pins. She unpacks like some of her favorite food gadgets. So yeah, those people, I think.
I love that. Thanks for sharing. And for those of you watching, I hope you start becoming a creator on Pinterest so you join this list of people to follow that we shout out at our events. So thank you so much, Tracy and Alessio. That was awesome. It was really great to hear about what's going on in the creator world, and really excited to see how, number one, your team grows, but how this vertical of Pinterest also grows into this new format that we're walking into. So really excited about story pins as well. So for the next portion, we will be continuing the story with our sales team, and we will have Carly Wallace and Bobby Hickey come on stage and talk to us a little bit more about how they use the trends with our business partners. We're going to take a quick break so you can run to the bathroom, grab some water, and we will get started in about 3 minutes.
Thanks.
Thank you.